Hello, this is a video on a 1991 BMW 325i E30 Touring. Since this is a late model car, it's a Alpine Weiss 2 paint. It's a 213 paint code. This car was imported about 4 or 5 years ago into Canada and has lived over in Vancouver for that amount of time. It currently resides in Comox Valley on Vancouver Island. It has an MTEC 1 body kit, which is standard for all Tourings, but this one has an IS lip that's on the front of it, just to give it a bit of a lower stance. The paint is single stage, so it had a cut and a polish, and yeah, it's come out quite nice, but I just want to go over some of the imperfections that are going to be a bit hard to tell through photos. So on the front here, there is a bit of a mark that has come in. I don't know if I can capture that. Yeah, right along there. It's a bit hard to see, and again, I'm not sure if the camera will be able to capture that. Yeah, it's not a major thing, but it's definitely noticeable, and if you're trying to go through this car with a fine-tooth comb, that's one thing you will find. If you come over to the roof is really, it's like a mirror. It's quite special. But there is one blemish, and that is right over here. There is a bit of a dent that's in there, a mark of some sort that has hit the car. Otherwise, there's not really that much to note, except for on the right-hand door, on the lower. So on the lower door, there's just another small dent that's right there. It's quite small, but yeah, again, something that I feel like I'd like to disclose. In the front of the vehicle, on the trim, on the plastic trim, there is a mark here of the car bumping into something at slow speed. I will likely touch that up, but at this point, it's something that I'd like for the potential buyers to witness. There's also going to be a few paint chips in the mirrors. I mean, this car's 30 years old, so that also gives an indication towards its use. It has about 176,000 kilometers on it. So yeah, it has seen some time. Under the hood, we have an M20B25. Beautiful motor in my opinion. It's really, it just kind of has a lot of character to it, and it is enough to propel this vehicle. So what I've done to it since I've had it, I've replaced the exhaust manifold gaskets, and I've done some paint work, and yeah, just in general, just to really touch things up and cleaned. I can maybe show some of the detail work that's in here, just for some of the polishing up of the aluminum and the metal, but yeah, overall this is a super clean engine. This motor, from what I can tell, has not been opened up at all. I think it still even has the original oil pan gasket. There is such a small seep that's coming from it, but it's not even dripping oil onto my shop floor, even if I leave it there for a few weeks. So yeah, overall just a really tidy motor that I'm definitely happy to show. It doesn't, there's nothing that's unusual about it either. Everything just works as it should. Pulls hard, right up in the top level especially. That's where M20s generally find a lot of their girth. But otherwise, yeah, just pretty standard, but also quite nice. So coming along to the inside of the vehicle, so we have a sport steering wheel. As you can see, the carpets are in really good shape, all the door cards as well too. The interior is really immaculate. As you can see, the driver's seat doesn't have any rips. Everything feels as it should. This car was swapped. It's from an automatic to a manual transmission last summer. So there's a Getter 260 that's in there, and there's a new Sachs clutch, new shifter bushings, all the works. So the shifter is super tight, really feels nice in your hands, and works, yeah, like new. So in here, you can see that we have 176,620 kilometers. And here's a sore spot, one thing I'm not proud of. I had to put an aftermarket stereo deck in it. I wasn't able to find an OEM deck that would go in. I usually do that with my E30s that I pass along, but unfortunately I haven't been able to find any that work. So at this point, this is what's in place. But if you did want to get this vehicle collector plated in British Columbia, that is something that you would need to go forth with. So yeah, there's a few different areas where you can get one, or maybe they'll allow you to get a blowout punt. There's a pretty expensive head unit that looks quite stock, but that might pass as well. Otherwise, The passenger seat you can see too is in fantastic shape. And then the headliner you can see too. Yeah, this headliner was recently installed. Yeah, it's in great shape. Or obviously it's new, but it's well done. And it's also in black too, which is nice. It really adds a little bit of a taste to the rest of the vehicle. Coming into the back, same as the front. Seats are in perfect shape. No rips, nothing. The headrests as well too are in great condition. Carpets too, and they look new. There aren't any oil stains or anything that I can really see of anything to note. Yeah, everything has really been well taken care of. You know, regarding the mileage in the year, this is a really clean car. Coming into the back as well, so you can see with the carpets, they're in great shape. We still have an original toolkit with all the tools in it. And as you can see over here, so it is missing the first aid kit, but I'm not sure if that was a mandated thing in Japan, where it was a mandatory thing over in Europe. And we have a spare tire under here. There's adjacent photos to the Craigslist ad that show underneath there as well. This vehicle is virtually rust-free. I haven't really been able to find anything, and especially in the hatch area. This is often a main problem area with these cars, is that the hatch fails. In North America, that's a pretty big problem because the hatches are not available like they are in Europe, and even then in Europe they're becoming scarce. So as you can see along here, there isn't anything to note, which is really rare. It still has the original seam sealer, and everything looks really ideal at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty thankful about that. And again, because the car's from Japan, it really helps with corrosion. I've had a few of these Tourings now from Europe, and they often do seem to have some issues. Whereas from Japan, it seems like most of the cars that I've gotten from Japan have just been in perfect shape relative to rust. So yeah, I'm quite thankful that this vehicle doesn't have anything to note. The front end has had a respray. There was a parking lot incident that occurred with it, and when that happened, there was just a little bit of damage that was done to the hood and the front bumper, and then I believe the right-hand fender. So based on that, they did a blend into the left-hand side. So that is so this area has been repainted, but from what I can tell from the rest of the vehicle, it is still original paint. It starts right up, always has, always will. It's really a beautiful engine to use. I love working on them as well. Everything on this car works as it should. There's nothing that I can really note that isn't functioning on the vehicle at the moment. It's really a pleasure to be in this car with this car. It's been a pleasure owning it. Yeah, and I'd love to see and meet the people that are interested in this vehicle and the potential buyer. Yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video and it gives you an understanding a bit more about this car. If you have any questions, you'd like to leave some comments, I can get a hold of you that way, or you can get my email. Then hopefully we can connect. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon.